pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to be giving, with the assistance of Frank Masella, our Recreation Director, a PowerPoint presentation. At the end of that, we're going to first take questions. Anyone that's going to ask a question should come up to the podium, give us your name and address, and ask your questions. After we go through all the questions, if there's anyone that wants to make a comment, then we'll take comments after that, okay? We're trying to do that. Our DPW guy is on his way in. Wednesday night, there's usually nothing going on here, so that's why it's not on. But we're working on it. Yeah. Okay, so Frank, why don't we get started? The first slide just basically says the path forward for the Mountainside community pool. Okay, the second one is what we're going to do here tonight. We're going to start with where we left off. We're going to be evaluating certain options. We're going to be giving some council recommendations. We're also going to indicate what the project investment is. And then we're going to ask what the next steps are, and then we're going to go to questions and comments. Okay, so the next slide is where we left off. Frank is just going to give a brief overview of the first town hall meeting that we had at the pool that explained what the condition of the pool is right now.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a recap of what we went over at the pool. I gave everybody, whoever wasn't there, I gave them an orientation. We walked the facility. I pointed out a lot of the things that were, issues that we have over, the 60-year that the pool has been open. I'm just going to go over them real quickly. The pool structure, plumbing, mechanical equipment, and underground utilities are all aging. Again, as I said, the pool's 60 years old and showing significant wear. The original cast iron pipes are worn out and leaking more than 4,000 gallons a day, which if you accumulate that over a season, we actually lose the two pools together, we lose that amount of water throughout the season. And those cast iron pipes have exceeded their service life. The water leak is causing the ground to be saturated, pool deck settling, damage to surrounding landscaping, and possibly impacting the pool building. The pump house is also, it's a concrete structure, and it's deteriorating to the point where patchwork, it won't repair. We need a long-term fix. And that pump actually, it does the filtration for both pools, which isn't ideal because it makes maintenance and repairs more difficult. The original underground pipes and drains are difficult to access and more likely to fail as they continue to age. The aging facility requires more maintenance, costs more to operate, and has a higher risk of unexpected closures. Engineers and professionals evaluated repair and rehabilitation options. Their conclusion is repairs may fix short-term problems, but won't solve the bigger issues. And a long-term solution means fixing the root problem instead of continuing to repair the pool one issue at a time. I'm going to hand it over to the mayor.
Got it for one more slide.
Oh.
That's basically what Frank just said. Okay, so next slide is how the council is evaluating how we're going to be moving forward. We looked at a number of areas. We looked at safety. We looked at longevity. We looked at fiscal responsibility, also maintenance, the value of the pool to the community, the regulations that we have to follow, and reliability. We're also, one of the reasons we're here tonight is to hear from the public. We want to hear what the town wants. We haven't made any final decisions. As you're going to see, you can see we're going to be making some recommendations, but tonight is your time to ask questions and express your opinions about the pool. Simply, our responsibility is choosing the best option and what's the most responsible option. Okay, next slide is what the three options are. The first one is to continue to repair the existing pool. Right now, we are continuing to maintain and repair a 60-year-old community pool. There are deficiencies that we are addressing structural, mechanical, and operational deficiency on an as-needed basis, okay, rather than taking a comprehensive renovation or replacement. The primary advantage of this particular approach is it requires the lowest initial capital investment and allows the community to continue to use the existing facility in the short term, okay? However, the downside is that the repairs are becoming more frequent, more costly and less predictable. This approach does not address the pool's outdated design, limited accessibility, and inability to meet the recreational and program expectations of today's users. Okay, we continue to extend the pool's operation for several years. The remaining lifespan, though, is uncertain due to the age and the underlying infrastructure. There is increased risk of major structural failures, underground plumbing leaks, mechanical breakdown, and extended closures that may actually occur during the season, when we'd have to close down the pool during the season, especially if there is an emergency. Just to give you an example, about a week or 10 days before the pool was to open up, we had to make sure that the pool was grounded. It's something that has to be done every 5 years, and we found out that it was not, because the grounding was attached to some of the cast iron pipes, which were corroded and were no longer there. So about a week before we opened up the pool, we had to spend almost $100,000 to fix this problem in order to open up the pool. Fortunately, we were able to get it done, and there was no delay in the opening, but that causes problems. We have to find, funds that weren't allocated up front in the budget to take care of these repairs. So the next option is a major rehabilitation. The estimated cost for something like this is about $2 to $2.5 million. Okay, this option would involve targeted rehabilitation of the existing 60-year-old structure. The scope of the proposed work would include installing new stainless steel gutter systems on both pools, replacing only the associated piping connected to the gutter system. This project would not include replacement of the existing main drains and return lines. This option would, though, include a new filtration system, an updated filtration system for both pools, which would then be running on their own system, so they would be separated. The primary advantage of this approach is, one, it will address the visible and known areas in need while improving pool circulation and reducing the risk of failures in the replaced component. It would also allow the community to continue using the existing facility with a lower upfront investment than a full renovation or replacement. This option would also minimize impacts by focusing improvements on specific systems rather than completely rebuilding the pool's infrastructure. However, there are several drawbacks. The first, because the rehabilitation is limited in scope, many of the existing 60-year-old components will remain in service, including the main drains and the return lines. Second, the project will not address all of the underlying challenges associated with the aquatic facility, leaving the potential for future repair and maintenance needs. Third, the existing pool layout and infrastructure will continue to limit the opportunities for modern amenities, improved programming, and enhanced user experience. This facility would lack many features found in modern aquatic centers, such as a separate activity and lap pool, zero depth entry pools, and water play facilities and expanded recreational amenities. Now, for the third option, I'm going to let Frank get into some of those details.
We actually had a company come in and give us a new concept. So if you look at the two pools are actually over the footprint of what exists there, that's the 50-meter pool. So it would be two new pools. This zooms in a little bit. I know that the numbers and what the writing is it's difficult to see. I mean, it's actually difficult to see on my computer, so I'll grab this. So there would be two separate new pools over the blueprint, like I said. The first pool would be a leisure and activity pool. It would be a zero depth entry, which it goes 0 to 2 feet in that pool. I think can you see the arrow or no?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. Oh, you know what you know what, we're going too quick. I don't know why. All right, so
Is that where the dive tank is?
now the dive tank is right here. Can you see the arrow?
I can't even see the Indian.
All right.
This picture has nothing to do with the dive tank.
Yeah.
This is just the overlay of the existing 50-meter pool.
I don't know if you can't see the arrow that I'm moving.
This is like turned around. So the bottom is where.
The dive tank is, yes.
Right, so it's like flipped around.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Okay.
so the two blue pools that you see on the left, that is where the 50-meter pool is currently. The dive tank is below that, and that purple, pink area is where the pump house is, and that would be the pool mechanical room.
The blue one next to it is the dive tank, right?
Yeah, below it, correct. So
Pretty much the same position.
correct. So the pool to the right is the activity leisure pool, which is one of the two new pools over the, I don't know why it keeps on going. So that has the zero entry. It has it has water features. It has a play structure that has water features and a small slide. And then that leads into the other part of the pool. So there's 3 sections of the pool, but it's one big body of water. This area over here to the right is 3.5 feet. There's bench seating. I don't know, this very, very sensitive computer. It has bench seating all around, so you could actually sit in the pool next to the wall instead of hanging over the side or sitting on the side of the pool. You could be totally submerged in the pool. And then that other section we'll use for activities like, and this isn't all the time, everybody can swim, but we could break it off so that we could run swim lessons, we could do water aerobics. We actually will be set up for volleyball, which is a highly requested activity at our pool. And we could run other programs in that without closing the whole facility down.
What's the depth of that?
Okay, so it goes 0 to 2, and then 2 to 3.5, and then 3.5 to 4. So it's very similar to the depth of our current 50-meter pool. So then the second pool would just be a lap pool. So we would be able to use that for swim meets. It would be for our lap lanes and our lap swimmers. And based off of how many people are lap swimming at the time, we would probably use 3 or 4 lap lanes for our swimmers and walkers. And then the other half of the pool we could use for just regular, open swim, just like we currently do at the pool.
What's the depth of that pool?
The depth of that pool goes very similar. It goes, let me look at my notes because I can't read this. It goes 4 to 5, and then right at the starting block, it actually goes to 7. Because in order to have the starting blocks now, if we do the renovation, we have to have a depth of over 5 feet. So 7 is a safe number so that we could have our meets diving into a depth that's safer for kids.
And what's the length of it?
I am horrible here. The length of the lap pool is 25 meters, and that's a regulation lap pool. So you could do you could do all our swim meets. We wouldn't have to put the rope up in the middle of the pool. And what's nice is, right now, we have to be totally closed in order to do our swim meets. So we could have them, all other pools have their swim meets, in the evenings. So we could actually run a swim meet while we have the whole entire pool facility still open to our members, which is really nice. It's a very nice feature. Now I can't get it to change. All right, like I said, the two new pool structures would have, a new lap pool, the activity leisure pool, a waiting area, which is the zero depth. I mean, people call it a beach entry. A new mechanical building, new filtration, ADA improvements, all new piping, new decking, and new utilities. And every pool would have its own filtration system, which is ideal.
Wouldn't the kiddie pool,
We would,
AKA the diaper pool?
yeah. We would keep the AKA diaper pool, because the kiddie pool would be for anybody that's not potty trained. In order to be in either one of these pools or any three of the pools, you have to be potty trained. I mean, yeah, you can't, you have to also pass a deep water test for the.
Deep end pool
Yeah,
as well?
that's for the seniors.
Oh, yeah. Don't joke about that.
That's
Now I'm gonna pass it back to the mayor.
Okay, so what, with that facility, what is still there is the pool is in the same location. We're still gonna have the dive pool. We'll still have swim lessons, still have the community traditions, and still have that family atmosphere that I know a lot of people place high value on. What's gonna be improved is the modern infrastructure. It's gonna be greater reliability. The systems are gonna be safer, it's gonna be ADA accessible, and there will be lower maintenance. Now, if we could just go back, Frank, to
Which one?
this one here,
Oh.
comparing the options.
Yep.
Okay, so this just gives you a chart over how we look at the different options. The first one is just continuing to make the repairs. Public safety is moderate. The life of the pool, or the life of just continuing to do repairs, we're estimating to be 1 to 2 years. We know the maintenance will be high, reliability will be low, and the long-term value will be low. Okay, on the rehabilitation, again, the public safety is moderate. The remaining life, we're estimating to be between 2 and 5 years, depending on how long the infrastructure that's not being rehabilitated will be maintained. We still think the maintenance will be high, reliability low, and long-term value will also be low. The rehabilitation, as I indicated to you before, will cost somewhere between $2 and $2.5 million. The replacement, public safety is high. The remaining life will be 25 to 40 years. Maintenance will be low, reliability will be high, and long-term value will be high. Now, if we go to the next slide,
Project investment.
yeah, the project investments, we're estimating that the cost of this option, we got an estimate from one of the 3 or 4 major companies in the country that can handle a pool of this size. Somebody that puts a pool in your backyard can't do a pool like this. So we got an estimate from them at around $7.5 million, okay? We're estimating based upon, and we bumped it up a little bit because, costs tend to increase. We're talking on the average assessed house, it's probably gonna cost about $14 a month over a 25-year period. This includes the main pool, the filtration system, the skimmers and utilities, mechanical needs, new diver decks, improved safety facilities, features and ADA compliant measures. Okay, so the last slide is what we're, talk about the cost of waiting. You know, if we act now, we can plan and schedule the repairs. The pool has been designated as an area in need of rehabilitation. And what that does, it gives the mayor and council more control to negotiate with the contractors. We don't have to go out to bid. We can negotiate with them, so that'll help to control the costs. And we'll know what the investment is going to be for the town. We know it's going to be approximately $14 a month over a 25-year period. If we wait, we're risking that we're going to have higher construction costs. We're going to have a continued deterioration of the pool. We're going to have emergency repairs, and emergency repairs, especially if they're during the season, will mean that there'll be pool closures. And there may, if it gets that bad, we may have to consider permanently closing the pool. The next slide is an estimated timeline. This is the timeline for the rehabilitation option as well as the new pool option. So tonight we're having our second town hall meeting. Sometime this summer, we're going to make a decision as to which option we're going to move forward with. Then we'll have the engineering and design, which will take place in the fall of 2026 through the spring of 2027. Then we'll have the material procurement will take place in the spring and summer of 27, with construction starting in the fall of 2027 and finishing up in the spring of 2028, with the pool opening under either option in the summer of 2028. Okay, the last slide is basically our commitment to the town. We're going to review we review the infrastructures. We're going to evaluate the options. We're going to gather community feedback, which is the main purpose of this meeting tonight, and we're going to analyze the long-term financials. You know, it says what it says on the bottom. Good planning isn't about avoiding difficult decisions. It's about making the right decision at the right time, and that's what we're going to be trying to do. So at this point, if anyone has any questions, they can come forward. They can give us their name and their address, and I'll try and answer them for you.
Hello. Rob Barletta, 1363 Birch Hill Road. Just a couple, the first option, how much does the first option cost that you didn't
We
mention?
don't know because it's sort of like an ad hoc option. When
As
something
needed.
breaks, we have to fix it. So depending on how bad it is and when it is, you know, it's going to determine the cost, and it's also going to determine whether the pool might have to be closed or not if it happens during the season.
And I just have a couple more questions. Will there be a fee? I saw the property taxes are going to increase, but what about for fees for the pool, for residents and non-residents?
We increase the fees on an annual basis. That fee structure is not going to change as a result of either option, the rehabilitation or the new pool.
So there won't be a fee increase?
Well, there'll be a fee increase, but not related to the rehabilitation.
Well, you don't know if a fee is going to increase, right?
It increases every year. There's a percentage increase.
And I know all the
We don't
tax.
anticipate it being more than what the usual increase is. I think that's your question.
Got it. Okay. And then one other. So, what about for people that are non-residents? Are they going to get a higher increase in the fee, or
They already pay a higher increase, a higher fee than the residents pay.
because this would be as you know, would be a huge step up. I think we could probably get more fees from people from out of town. I would just.
That'll be a policy decision when the time comes.
And the last question, you know, there are grants that are available for these types of projects. Have you contacted our state legislative delegation, the county, and
We'll look into grants, and we'll get whatever grants are available to us.
but that would then bring down the 7.5 million.
But we're estimating what the cost is and what we're going to bond for it.
So in theory, I would encourage you to reach out to the county, to the state legislative delegation. There are Green Acres grants that are available that could certainly bring.
Green acres that will, we can apply to for the pool.
There are. I actually looked into it. So if you may want to check it out because that would bring down the tax burden on local residents. So they did it in a number of other towns here on the Green Acres grant. So that's something I think that's very important is to really tap into the county. I don't know if you've talked to our state assembly members, but that would be who have you talked to so far?
John Bramnick,
He's a senator. Have you talked to the others?
mainly John Bramnick. He's the main contact.
Well, I would encourage you also given the political makeup in Trenton, I would probably encourage you to talk to the assembly members who could help bring in some grant money and also on the county level as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Christine Lopez, Christine Mansour, 593 Woodland. I just have a couple questions. The kiddie pool, will that remain the same or is that also included in this?
Kiddie pools will not be touched.
The kiddie, so it'll stay the same?
Right.
Okay,
We'll put water features, but yeah, the actual pool itself will not be touched.
okay. And then can you go back a slide, please?
I hope so. Which
So-
slide are you looking for?
No, this one, this is
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
So you're looking to get all the other stuff done and not start construction until fall of next year?
Correct.
Okay, so let's say, I mean, we've all had construction projects that go over time. Is there a backup plan in place right now if the pool isn't finished by summer of 2028?
We're comfortable with the timeline that we have.
But is there a backup plan? Like, are we going to go to another town and they're going to let us pay in-town prices? Like,
I guess we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it, but we're very comfortable with the timeline.
okay, so there's no backup plan yet?
We don't think it's necessary.
Okay,
All right?
all right, thank you.
There's plenty of time from fall to spring to do it.
Ken Blum, 1324 Outlook Drive East. I want to commend you first for taking the time out to be transparent about this with you and the town council. The questions I have are, is the pool membership declining or increasing?
It's increasing.
It's increasing? Is that in town though, or just out of town too?
It's both. Membership revenue is up 14% this year to date from last.
But is that up because we increased the fee?
Or
or because the true membership is up?
and also we have more members.
Is the pool being the utility self-liquidating? Is it
It-
covering all costs? Nothing is put in the current fund budget?
Well, I can't speak to that. I before the emergency, it would have covered everything. I don't know how we want to factor in the $100,000 that the emergency work that we had to do this year. But if we didn't have that, we would be covering the pool.
Now, you're also saying it's going to cost 7.5 million in construction. Does that include design, construction management and all that? Or is that just the true construction of the pool?
All that.
And, something else I wanted to say. Have we looked at another option of making it a turf field and build a rec center there?
We have not. Our commitment is, if we can, to keep the pool open.
You tend to keep the pool open.
Yep. It's a valuable asset.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Roy Morton, 1195 Witchwood Road. Have you looked into the possibility of putting in a well?
We don't think that that's feasible for this type of project.
Why not?
Well, I don't have all the answers to that. I'm not an engineer, but that is not one of the options that we've looked at. Well,
Well, you should look at it because how much are you spending on water with the New Jersey American Water Company?
Well, costs about 3,500 to 4,000 to fill up the pool completely preseason.
Yeah, but how much are you losing on a daily basis? You said you're losing
Well, we're losing a full pool, so it's
you said you're losing 49
$4,000,
4,000
4,000 gallons a
a
day.
day.
So that's
That could come out of the well for free.
true.
You'll make your money back in 2 years.
Yeah, I don't
And-
know enough about
and-
wells.
And in that case, you wouldn't care whether it leaked or not because you'd be getting it for free.
Well, we'd have to care about the leak because it affects the infrastructure and the grounds. If you walk over there, the grounds are the dips in the grounds right now because of the failing infrastructure and the leaky.
Have you looked into putting plastic pipe inside the cast iron pipe?
We were told
Just like the gas company does.
yeah, we were told by engineers you can't do that with hundreds of feet of piping that we have.
Well, the gas company does it for a whole neighborhood, and that's hundreds of feet.
I think it's a different type of piping.
You should look into that also.
We have.
Okay. It doesn't, I, okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Justin Pulse, 212 Glen Road. I just want to make a couple points here. Thanks to you two, mayor and the council. I think the process is great. You're doing a good job, so I appreciate that. I also want to reiterate that I like the family atmosphere. It's great. I mean, I was.
Not to cut you, this is for questions right now. You can make a comment afterwards.
Oh, all right. So,
If you have questions, we're going to try and deal with those first.
All right,
I mean,
fair
to
enough.
cut you off. Yeah, everybody's going to have a chance to say what they want to say.
not a problem. Fair enough. I guess if I would put it as a question, I know you said you might leave the kiddie pool the way it is, but can you look into an amenity for the kiddie pool in terms of like replacing that palm tree, for example? I've seen a lot of pools with maybe a mushroom, just as an idea.
I think he already
Yeah,
said that's
yeah,
what we're doing.
we would change the spray features. The footprint would not change.
Okay.
But we do have all those inlets. We would update, like the palm trees on its last leg.
Okay. All right. That's what I had. Thank you.
Okay.
It's a good family atmosphere.
Right.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alan Kane, 1267 Virginia Avenue. My question is about the cost. $14 per month times 12 is $168 a year, right? 25 years is $4,200. So how do we expect to get that? Billed? Added to our taxes?
It'll be added to the taxes, yes.
So every year, it's not going to be an increase. This is going to be the cost,
That's correct.
flat rate.
That's correct.
Okay,
We've gotten that from our auditors.
right. So we're not taking into consideration inflation?
Once we put a bond in place, that's what the cost will be.
Okay. Listen, I think it's fair for what it is. Both my boys swim in town, so I'm all for it, and let's get it done.
Hi, Stefani Classima Sybil's 1079 Sunnyview Road. I grew up at the Mountainside pool. That's where I had my swim lessons when I was little, so I know how important it is to the town. A couple of things. Do you think that it would be helpful to have some sort of survey or input from town residents on how to pay for it aside from tax increases? So, for example, after Sandy, Belmar's boardwalk was destroyed, and they did a buy-a-board where everyone donated, and they raised $700,000 in like a few months, right? I'm sure that there's donors that live in town, that live outside of town. There's so many different programs that you could do aside from, looking at grants. But maybe it would be helpful to send out something to the town just to see if anyone has any interesting ways to raise money, so it's not all tax increases. The other question is, how many people are allowed to use the pool a year? So if everyone in the town is paying for it, is everyone how about if everyone from the town, all 7,000 residents go, would they be denied?
We wouldn't be able to have, 3,500 is
3,500's the max, okay.
people, members.
Okay.
Not memberships, but 3,500 members.
Okay. I think that was it. Yeah, So it's really just a matter of, and when, so I saw that you guys are going to talk about finance. When's that happening?
We did already. That's the $14.
No. Okay, so that's the only like finance option right now.
Correct.
Okay, but we are open to other options.
Sure, we'll look at the fundraising and the grants. I think that's a great idea.
Okay, and if there's some like place where everyone could direct these ideas to, that would be really helpful. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joan Linor, 1385 Wood Valley Road. I was wondering, is there going to be any change to the locker rooms and the parking lot? And also, are you going to be fixing the driveway leading up to the pool?
You know,
That's very, very dangerous. I've seen kids almost get hit by cars multiple times.
Wait. Yeah, it's the county, the driveway. I know that everyone's so for changing that driveway and making it smoother.
Just
But-
safer.
Yeah, but in what way?
The blind curves, people
Yeah.
come flying
I
down
don't-
it, and
I
there's
don't think-
kids on
I mean,
bikes and
other
walking.
other than cutting it back, which we try to do, throughout the season. My thought is, because I drive down that a lot, is the rougher the road, the slower you go. So I know that everyone's like, hey, make it smooth. You'd have to put in all those speed bumps because people just fly into that driveway.
Maybe even just putting up some signs to
Yeah.
remind people.
But that's the reason why. I mean, it is county property, but that's one of the big reasons why I don't look to pave that, because people go a lot slower when they have to.
And if you're going to have swim meets while the pool is open, how is that going to affect the parking?
I think we could handle, the parking situation. We would have all our staff park at the borough, and I don't think it would be busier than the 4th. we're
And
able
the
to
locker rooms are staying the way they are?
We would do a couple updates, but we would change the floor. I mean, we are due for new lockers.
I heard a couple people concerned about the depth of the lap pool as far as walking with the 7 feet by the dive blocks.
The 7 feet is, I don't know the exact length, but it's over 3/4 of that lap is 5 feet, which is similar to what we have now. So you just can't go to the end. You would just turn around if you were going to be a walker.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't see any questions. Are there any? Okay, so at this point, if anyone wants to come up and make a comment, give us your name and your address, please.
If I could, Mr. Mayor. My name is Richard Kress. I live at 1169 Ridge Drive in Mountainside. I've been here for around 40 years. My children have grown up in the Mountainside pool. Both of them were lifeguards in the Mountainside pool. My son became a Division I swimmer in college at Villanova. Unfortunately, he got several scholarship offers, but he chose to go to the school that didn't give him a scholarship, which many families, I think, have experienced the same problem. But the one thing I have to say is, I love, number one, Mountainside. I moved to Mountainside because of what it had for families and for children. And at the time we moved here, we only had a daughter who was 2 years old, and then my son was born after we moved here. And it has been just an unbelievable experience. And the one thing we have found is that this town has always done the right thing for the families in town. And the pool has been so important to not only the young families, but to the senior citizens. And maybe in another 20 years, I may be a senior citizen, and at some time. But we're there, and it serves all age groups. And I think it is such an important part of this town. The property values in this town, I mean, nobody can say that they're going down. But one of the things is what we have for the young families that move here and for the older families that have been here for many years. The pool is not just a recreational facility, but it's also one that has become something that is a social for seniors and for young families. Now, I remember when my kids were younger and all, I served on the Board of Education for 15 years. And they were painful when I would go to the pool for all the mothers who wanted to know what teacher their kid was going to get for kindergarten. But I survived that. But I also knew that the pool is just more than just a pool. It's the center of this town. This borough means so much to everybody, and it is part of the heartbeat of Mountainside. And I get choked up even talking about it because it's a wonderful town. And there are no politics involved in this. This is something that should have been done years ago. My daughter lives in Connecticut, and she, as I said, she used to be a lifeguard here at the pool and all. And 2 years ago, she came down with her 3 leprechauns from Darien, Connecticut, around the 4th of July weekend. And when she went to the cafe, quote unquote, and sat there and she looked at the chairs and everything else and said, holy shit, these are the same things that were here when I was here 20 years ago. So it's time. And like, I know that when my kids were there and over the years, the filtration, I saw all of the things starting to deteriorate. You put in the platform in the back for the seniors and everything else, but it has grown with the town. But the time has come to change it. And in all honesty, the only way you could do that is what you're talking about. You need to bond it, and you need to do it. And you have to do it now, because you can't put a Band-Aid on this anymore. Because I've seen too many Band-Aids over the years here in the pool. And you just can't do it anymore. And you have to go forward, because this was a great town with the other towns in the area for the kids who swam in the summer competitively. Because we had difficulty swimming without having a 25-meter pool. And it's the same thing with the senior citizens. They need to use the pool as well, depends or not. And it is something not just for one group in this town, but for the entire town. But it's also very important for the strength of this town and for what this town stands for, which is the community, which is going to only invite more people here into Mountainside over the years and keep it the wonderful town that it has been. So I really appreciate what you've done by including the public in this. And I hope you go forward with this as quick as possible. Don't waste another day. Start looking into the plans of doing it. Start looking into the bonds. Start looking into the grants. And let's make it something for the town, and not something that's a political football, but rather it's something just for the people here. Thank you.
So now we're going to call it the Richard Kress Wall. You only get 5 minutes. Okay, next.
So thankfully, this isn't a meeting about whether or not we're going to do it with the pool, which is, I heard some rumors about that before. But I think it's so important, like so many of us have stories that have to do with our town pool. By the way, my name is Nidia Steke, live at 137 Parkway. We've been here almost 21 years, and I will say that it is because of the pool that we came to Mountainside. We were looking into membership as out-of-town residents, and my kids were like 3 and 2 at the time, and I would, on my way to Trader Joe's, stop by the town pool and just kind of walk around, ask to walk around, and think about, oh, maybe this year, maybe next year we can be, members here. And that's when we saw our the for sale by owner sign at the front of our house that now will be 21 years. My oldest daughter just got married a month ago, so we haven't been there for the last couple of years, but this has been staple. I think it's important to share our stories, and if there's maybe some kind of way to maybe, I don't know, make them a part of the new Mountainside pool, so that people who come into our town can get to know part of the life that is our town from our stories, right? Like, I think about, Valerie and I, when our kids were really little, we would meet up in this parking lot at 6:30 in the morning and wait till 9 a.m. to get our tickets so that we could sign our kids up for our 11 o'clock swim lesson every 2 weeks for years. My kids learned to swim in this pool. They dove for the dive team in this pool. So much of our community came from here, whether it was coming here during, every morning, because my backyard butts up to the parking lot, walking out from our backyard into the pool, spending the mornings there, then coming home for lunch, going to the library, which is another thing I'd like to advocate for here in Mountainside, for the summer reading program, just so much. So thank you guys. And again, if we can maybe somehow incorporate some of our experiences, I don't know how. I know it would take some brainstorming to somehow share it with the town. I feel like it would be so motivating for, the new families that come in to become members and to have their kids be a part of the swim team. And let's bring back the dive team. I miss that, and even encouraging you guys for what you do every day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope we got a race.
Hello. My name is Ken Gavicius from Old Tote Road, the Halloween Street. This is getting too kumbuya here, everybody. Mountainside, it's great. It is great. I'm living here since 1995. I'm a pool member for the last 15 years. I remember 2 years ago, we heard a rumor of they were going to put a lazy river where the pool was and stuff like that.
I started that.
Okay, and a bunch of people my age and all of that were like, where did that come from? We never heard anything about it. Well, it went away. So last week, before that, we got the flyer in the mail about how much damage the pool has gotten over the years. Come to the pool, and Frank will show us the damage that has been done and needs to be done. That it's leaking water, the pipes have to be changed, which he also pointed out that when you worked on the filter 20 years ago, you knew that the piping was already corroding. So you knew 20 years ago that the piping was corroding. Towards the end of your talk, walking us through with the plastic was deteriorating, the bag that you walked in, you put it on the table, and the cat came out of the bag. And you mentioned something about dividing the pool. I thought I was there as to how we were going to raise money to fix the problems with the pool. Now, all these questions and everything are about the new pool, how you're going to divide it into 3 sections. You have to fix the problems. And the problem is to change the whole pool, all over. I don't understand. Me being a senior, along with some of the seniors here, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm not going to use the pool 25 or 40 years from now. Thank you.
Hey. Everybody needs to be respectful of people's opinions.
Joseph DeJaney, 373 Central. I raised 3 sons in this town. They all belong to the pool. They learned how to swim. They went on to become senior lifeguards at different country clubs up through college. But I think if we really stand back and objectively look at this, the people who came before us had the foresight to put the pool in. We all enjoyed the asset, and I think we have a responsibility going forward to repair it, replace it, and put it in excellent working order. We owe it to our current residents, and we owe it to the residents who aren't here yet. But I truly believe that it's an asset that we cannot afford to not take care of.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Nope.
I'm going to beat the Huber woman to the punch here. My name is Sue Winans, 269 Central Avenue, Mountainside, New Jersey. I was the recreation director for 31 years. I retired 20 years ago. I made that decision in May of that year because I said I can't be here one more year and open this pool, because you cannot imagine all of the little things that are on your mind in the month of May trying to get the pool ready to open. So things were starting to deteriorate 20 years ago over time. And I know Frank has been a tremendous asset. He knows more about the pool than I ever knew, and I knew quite a bit. So I have to commend him for us actually making it to 60 years before we're replacing the pool. I also have to say that I was quite confused about what exactly was the plan. And I had the pleasure of talking to Frank last week, and I am 100% on board with this full replacement with the two pools. I think it will serve the community well for at least 25 years and hopefully 60. I think dividing the pools up so that there's separate filters and separate pools makes a lot of sense in the long run, so that if there's a problem in one pool, it's not also a problem in another pool. And so there's a lot more flexibility as far as that goes. I was not familiar with the term activity pool, but if I was at the pool last week on one of those hot days, and I decided to go to the 3-foot end of the pool. And I realized, even though I worked down there for 31 years, that if you're a child who's between the ages of 3 and 7, you go from the baby pool, where there's kind of fun things to do, you go to the big pool, you actually are too short to do a lot of things in that pool. It's a swimming pool. It's for people who can swim. But for young children, playing in the pool is a very important part of the activity. And I think this new design offers so much more fun for kids, and also for adults and seniors such as myself who just want to go into our ankles or whatever. I think it's a tremendous design, and I'm fully in support of this project. And if there's anything I can do to help you guys move it forward, please don't hesitate to ask. I would like to suggest that you put together some display materials of the projected project and have that at the library, have it at the pool, so people can see what the plan is. When we renovated the building in the 1990s, the entire summer before we did the renovation, we had drawings of what we were going to do. And I think it was very helpful to people to see what was going on, and possibly if you could get from the design company some better pictures and projections with the ability of computer programming and AI and everything to really show almost a photographic image of what the new pools would look like. I think that would be tremendously helpful to people.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Christine again. I just want to say, we have not been here for 20 years. We've been here for maybe almost 10 at this point. It's just my husband and I. We both work. We have no au pair, we have no nanny, we have no family, no babysitters, only child. Parents are dead, unfortunately. So it's just us. And, you know, there's a lot of talk about families. And unfortunately, and this is something I've been complaining about for a while, a lot of the activities for families are during working hours, unfortunately, in that 3 to 6 range. But the pool isn't. The pool's open on the weekends. It's open until 7:30 at night. So it's something that we really look forward to as a family to be able to go to because we can all go as a family. I have a kid who needs to use the kiddie pool because they're a baby, and another one who doesn't have to use the kiddie pool because they're not a baby. And when I have to go by myself because my husband works some weekends, it is really difficult for us because my son has to stay in the kiddie pool area because I don't want him to drown. I trust him swimming, but I don't trust him swimming by himself in the big pool. I think this design really works for parents and really works for families because he will then have the freedom to go to the other pool while I still watch the baby. And I don't have to worry about him drowning in 2 feet or 3 feet of water because he's tall enough to reach his head up. Like she was saying, in the big pool, the lowest that it goes is still too high. We were playing a game the other day where he was trying to see if he could reach the bottom with his feet and his head is still under the water. So as a parent, as someone who has a family and can't always make the Mountainside family activities, we're really in favor of this complete replacement. We have another at least 25 years, hopefully more, in this town, and we would like to continue using it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Norma Huber, 1035 Mountain Avenue. I grew up on 111 Parkway. Basically, I'm just up here because of something Mr. DeJaney said, and I'm not sure many people are aware of it, but when the pool opened, the day it was supposed to open, 2 days before, the pool was not ready yet. So the manager of the pool and many of the parents, my father and mother included, my father and the men actually put down sod and spent a couple of nights, and they worked until almost midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So the Mountainside pool could open on time. So as Mr. DeJaney says, our forefathers, the ones who went and did the pool, there was a lot of them we do have to respect. They put the pool in for us to all enjoy. But a lot of the families in Mountainside who were initial members of the pool, actually I was photographed with my brother and sister on the pool site, and it was in the Echo because we were waiting with a beach ball for the pool to open. We had this photographer ran around the neighborhood and found us and put us on the pool site, the dirt site. But these people who were the initial members of the pool, they wanted the pool to open so much that they came and they worked their asses off. And, you know, they also swam and dived into diving tank, too, for fun at the end when they were finished. But they worked their asses off to get the pool ready for it to open on time. So it is something that we want to keep in town, you know, to honor the old people.
Thank you, Norma.
Good evening. My name is Bob, live at 327 Linda Drive. I've got 3 kids, and we've been here since 2019, and they fall exactly into that age range between all the different pools. This is actually our first year joining the pool club because prior to that, it was difficult for my wife during the day to bring 3 kids that wouldn't be able to swim through the larger pool as one parent there at a time. So the new design, I think, is terrific for allowing even more families who potentially have been delaying joining because their kids are still pre-swimming. And my daughter, my son, actually my youngest, who's 3, are taking the swim classes there. My daughter just joined the swim team, which was super welcoming. Everyone there has been super welcoming and terrific. And we definitely see this as being the anchor of our summer for every year that we plan to be here, which is forever. And so, we didn't know first coming in just by sight that there was so much deteriorating with the pool. So I think it's, I commend everyone for getting the pool to where it's been. And certainly, we can't possibly imagine even just having joined for the first time this year, suddenly seeing it go away. So I certainly hope that not just families in my position, but when we would get older, we would still want to come back because we can see how many community events happen there. Every time we show up, people from town that we know are there to hang out with. And I just want to reinforce everything that already has been said in terms of all the positive things that we've experienced just in the first year, in the first month, and fully support the full renovation to make sure that it continues for another 60 years. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
I'm Luca Barletta. I live on 1363 Birch Hill Road. I have a few questions because I kind of missed the question part, but is there any plans to fix or widen the basketball courts?
Not part of this, I don't think.
Not part of this?
No.
Also, the picnic area behind the diving boards and slides, is there going to be any changes to that? Or is it just going to stay the same?
It'll probably stay the same. That's actually county property that we get on loan for the summer season.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nothing? Okay.
There we go.
Dale Treese, 365 Longview Drive. I, of course, have thought of a few other questions, but I do want to make one comment that I think is prevailing over all the wonderful things that are here in Mountainside and at the pool. It's not just a place to be with all your friends. It's a place to meet new friends. It's a place to meet all the other people in the community that you don't have the opportunity to see at any other time of the year or ever. And so that's another reason that I think that the pool is so important for Mountainside. Having been here, lived here for 56 years, and raising my family here, it's one of the things that has kept me here, along with the library. And I just want to say that, the few changes that I've seen, most of them are really great. And I commend you for all the efforts you've put into it to keep it that way. I'm a lap swimmer. The lap lanes have been sufficient for many years. But as a senior, what I have found, and I know this is not the time for a question, but I didn't think of it before, is that we have 2 lanes, slow swimmers and fast swimmers. But now there are also walkers. As we've aged, we don't do as much swimming, we do a lot of walking. So when you plan the lap part of this project, the lap swim part of the project, I'd very much like to see for it to accommodate a lane for walkers and for those people who don't swim ever, and then additionally add slow swimmers and fast swimmers, etc. And to keep them up a little bit longer if it's going to be just for lap swimming. And then the other pools being for recreational swim and play swim for the children and so on. And if you can accomplish all that, then I would say, okay, though I hate to give up, an Olympic-sized pool, I could live with it. So thank you very much.
I think there's 6 lanes particularly.
There is, but she's talking about a walk lane that you could actually walk, like it goes to 7 feet, so it would be 3/4. And that lap pool will be, a walking lane, although you can't walk all the way to the 7 feet. It's less than a quarter of the depth. Less of the quarter of the length. It would be a walk, a slow, and then a fast lane. And just like we do now, we kind of change it. We've actually, if there's so many swimmers, we do a 3rd lane. Not very often, but if there's too many, but we would. I don't know if we've done it in the last year or two, but we.
No, I've never seen a 3rd lane with a rope. Sometimes people just swim outside of the second rope when there's not a lot of other people playing in the water. So that's your 3rd lane. I'm talking about a real 3rd lane. And you're also looking at a person who can't go over 3 feet. You know,
That we can't help you.
I realize that, but if I could walk until 4 feet and swim the rest, that's okay.
Okay.
But to just be mindful that the seniors in town, part of why they're staying here and keeping their homes is that pool and the other services for what's going on in town. So do keep that in mind.
I definitely will. I have it in my notes. Thank you.
Considered stills.
Yeah. I was thinking that. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone, I want to thank everyone for coming. I think we've given the residents an overview of the condition. We've given you what the options are. We're listening to what the residents had to say tonight. So as we've indicated all along, we're committed to transparency in making our decision, and certainly everyone coming here tonight, it makes that a little easier for us. So I want to thank everyone for coming here tonight, and we should have our decision shortly. And I hope that everyone thinks that it's the right decision. But thank you all for coming.